One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get into our first topic, and that is Uber is going to pay not drivers as in you and me, Uber drivers, but drivers of vehicles to $1,000 to ditch their vehicle. So this is something that is Uber is trying to take on their main competition that they claim is not Lyft, is not other rideshare companies, it's not DoorDash. They claim that their actual competition is car ownership. So they're trying to go after car ownership. They're trying to sway people from being able to use their own vehicles and basically get into an Uber, a Lyft, which they're primarily going to be doing, and then also public transportation and things like that. Sergio, what are you doing? May have to join with a cell. Yeah, go ahead. If you're on the cell, just go on. You got the link. No problem. But yes, so this is actually a pretty interesting thing. I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is something that you would do? Would you, if you obviously weren't driving Uber and you were a passenger or just a person in one of these test markets, would you actually want to get $1,000 to try to use other forms of transportation to get to and from work, to and from, places of business, or whether you have to go grocery shopping or shopping in general, or just basically not using your car? So let me know. But basically, essentially what they're going to be doing is Uber's going to pay you $1,000 to ditch your car for 5 weeks. So about 175 people in select cities in the US and Canada will be given free Uber rides and credits for bike share, public transportation to stop driving. And then it says, is this just a PR stunt? My honest opinion, because DK actually came out and said car ownership is their main competitor, I actually think they're trying to sway people to see how they can switch people from car ownership to actually primarily using Ubers and, possibly Lyfts in that. I think this is going to be something where they're kind of working hand in hand, even though they're not really, just because, everybody's going to be looking at competition. But I think it's going to just be one of those things that they're going to try to primarily change a person's thought process on using a vehicle versus a rideshare or public transportation. So Uber is bringing this experiment to North America. So car owners in Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Miami, San Francisco, Toronto, and Vancouver can sign up online for the 5-week trial, which takes place from July 22nd through August 25th. They're going to select 30 people from each city to give up their cars during those 5 weeks. So it's pretty interesting to see what they're going to be doing there. But like I said, I think it's because they're trying to sway that. And then they're going to use that information to see how they can potentially get drivers to give up their cars. So Uber says it was inspired to tackle its own trial after seeing encouraging results in Australia, in which participants reported increased walking, biking, and public transit usage during the challenge. Uber concluded that people need access to at least 4 other modes of transportation in order to successfully ditch their cars. Still, few participants said they'd be willing to go as far as sell their cars and rely on only alternative modes. Only 3 of the 58 said they plan to do this in the near future. So giving up that easiness of just going outside, getting in your car, and going where you need to go could be a little bit different. You have to plan out a little bit according, especially if you're using public transportation like buses or something along that nature, or planning a little bit beforehand when ordering Uber or Lyft or something. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting concept, and I think this is kind of where things are going. I've said this before when it comes to car ownership. I don't think cars have actually, given up yet, but I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to be more of a car share. So you may just be participating in a car share where when you need a vehicle, it's going to be there, but it's not necessarily yours. So you just get in, You just drive wherever you need to, or at that point, it might be full self-driving. So that's what I see into the near future. It's probably still a little ways away, but yeah, definitely something that is interesting. DeVoe, you say it won't work. I don't think it's going to work. I think it's only going to be city, and obviously they're using big cities like LA, Chicago, DC. These are big cities, so it's only going to work for big cities, anyways. If you live in somewhere like my area in Buffalo, it's a little bit harder because we don't have grocery stores as close to a lot of the houses, or it could be businesses further away, especially if you're in the suburbs versus within the city. Even in the city, you still got quite a bit to go. But honestly, I would like to see more people walking. Walking is good for you. So I gotta say that for sure. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.